Hey everybody, we almost had a car accident just now, but it is ModelcarNick, and today we're going to be showing you around this Pink Slip 1/18 scale Porsche. I believe this is the 99 or the 964 generation of Porsche, so kind of the older classical style, and it's finished in this Gulf livery, as you can see, and it's got black wheels and also black interior. So let's get into this model, show you some of the details, features, and then give you my overall opinions on this thing. But yeah, as it sits, this, it looks pretty good. I paid $40 for this, and it came from Target, so they sell these bad boys at Target now. I also picked up this one as well, so we'll have a review on that coming soon. But we're focusing on this one today, and the question is this hot garbage or not? I mean, $40 is kind of a steep price to pay considering, you can get a Maystoke for similar quality for about $15 to $20, depending on where you get it. But yeah, let's kind of start up front as we always do, and I'll show you some of the details up here. So the first thing I noticed are the headlights on this particular model. They kind of have this big classical style headlight, and you can kind of see some of the details behind there. The glass is smooth when you touch it, but it does kind of have this little imprint on there, but that actually sits underneath this plastic part. So kind of interesting, but a little cool design they have in the headlights. Down here you can kind of see like the turn signal. I think this is like an air intake, but it's kind of just printed on there. It's not actually like a plastic vent or anything. It's just printed, so kind of weird. And we have some kind of hood pins right here to keep it down. And then down here we kind of have like a little air intake, but this is just kind of black plastic. It's not actually like, too detailed. It's just kind of mesh printed on there, but it is what it is. We'll move down to the kind of side of this model, and as you can see, these headlight arches look really good on this model. I did do a review on this GT Spirit Carrera RS, so if you're interested in seeing that and showing the differences between this model and this model, take a look at this video that I posted a while ago. But yeah, let's take a look at this a little bit more. As you can see, we kind of have these older style, kind of classic Porsche wheels finished in a matte black finish, and they look pretty good. As you can see, no detail on the center caps, unfortunately, but the lug nuts are painted kind of in this silver finish, and they look pretty good. Behind there, though, you can't really make out much detail. I can't really see the rotors or the brake calipers or anything like that. I think the brake calipers do sit on the side of the model, but it looks like everything behind there is finished in black, so really not too much detail to show on the wheels. But we'll zoom out. I forgot to show you the hood up front. So you do have this little air intake as well, and you can see the wiper windshield blades look pretty good. And there is this little thing. I actually have no idea what that does, but it does stick up there. I assume that will be pretty easy to break. So if you're picking up one of these secondhand, make sure it has this little, I don't know, this little poking out thing right here. It looks pretty interesting. But as we move towards the rear of the model, as you can see, there's a Gulf logo sitting right there on the door, and then there is one mirror on this car, which you might think it's broken, but actually all all Porsches of this generation, that's a 911, only have one driver's side mirror, so kind of interesting to see that. But as you can see, it's finished in chrome, and so is the door handle. And one thing you might notice is the door gap kind of sticks out a little bit, so it doesn't really fit as flush as you would like it to. But the doors do open on this model, but unfortunately everything else is sealed. So you can't see the engine bay, and you can't see the front of the car, or I guess the frunk, I should say. So kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. Continuing around though, we kind of have a chrome surrounding the windows. And then as we take a look at the rear, I think what made me pick up this model is it has this little whale tail, and I really like these things on the Porsches. I think they look really good, so I think this one looks absolutely excellent. We have the Porsche script written along the back of the model, and then up here at the top we kind of have the engine vents right here at the back. Unfortunately, you can't see anything through. It's kind of just this plastic mesh grille, and then we have a 3.5 badge for the 6-cylinder engine that is underneath this little trunk cover. So as you can see, we have dual exhaust as well, finished in chrome. So they look pretty good, but not really too much anything else back here. We kind of have some more pins to keep the trunk lid closed, and then the tail lights themselves look pretty decent, but nothing really too crazy going on back here. But it does look really good. I also forgot to mention, it does say RSR on the back of this model, so it looks pretty cool. But that's kind of the exterior of this thing. Let's take a look at the interior real quick. So I'll go ahead and open up both doors because we can. And so here's kind of a peek at the interior. Honestly, a pretty cool thing because they have a little roll cage in the back of that. And if you can see back there, there is a little fire extinguisher. So that's pretty interesting. And then on the dashboard, you kind of have the same Gulf blue paint painted in the gauge cluster. And as you can see the speedometer and all the other information sitting on there as well. I think what else looks pretty cool is these seats. As you can see, they kind of have this little circle kind of metal finishes around it. So that looks pretty cool. And it does have the Recaro logo on the seats. So that looks really awesome. If we take a look at these gas pedals down here real quick, as you can see, everything back there is finished, just all in plastic. And what's kind of interesting as well is when you open up the doors, as you can see, the floor kind of sits very flat. So you kind of have these seats just stuck on there. There's no kind of grooves onto the floorboards at all. So, you know, kind of unfortunate, but I think at this price point, that's kind of what you expect with these models. What also is super boring are these doors. As you can see, they're absolutely flat. No real curvature to them at all. They try to add a little bit of design with this little trim piece right here, and then the door handle, and then the little window roll thing right there. So the doors are a little unfortunate, but I think that's what they were going for, kind of with this race style door panel. So you know, it doesn't look amazing, but they did put just a little bit of effort in there. And then on the passenger side, as you can see, there is kind of this little metal plate that sits right there. It doesn't sit very flat. As you can see, it's a little crooked. It doesn't look amazing, but you know, at this price point, I wouldn't really expect it to look that good. And as you can see, here's another view of that fire extinguisher, and then we can see the manual gearbox shifter right there. And there is the little brake lever that's pulled up, but not really too much to speak of in this interior. Here's kind of a view of the back, and that roll cage looks pretty cool. I think it would have looked a little bit better maybe if they painted that roll cage in orange just so it stands out a little bit more, but it is what it is. So that's kind of this thing as a whole. You know, for $40, maybe $45 after tax, depending on where you live, you know, it looks really cool. I love the livery, but I don't really think this is worth $40. People are paying a lot of money on eBay at resale. I think these things can go up to like $60 to $70. I would not recommend paying that at all, considering you can get this thing at Target if you're lucky enough to find one. But this is just basically a rebranded Solido model, and I'll show you the box real quick. So they kind of come in this interesting pink box with these black accents along it, so it looks really interesting. You do have a carbon fiber base, which is a nice little touch, but I don't really think that justifies this being $40, considering what you can get for Maisto, and it being a little bit better quality. The only thing that I say separates this thing in a Maisto is you actually do get the windows on the side, so that is cool, and you kind of get an exclusive model that Maisto has never made. But again, I don't think this is necessarily worth $40. But, you know, I just decided to pick it up just to show you guys on the channel. And it is a pretty cool looking model, but I don't love these wheels. As you can see, they're really huge. And the rear one is even bigger than the front, obviously. So kind of a staggered setup, really meaty tires on the sidewall. I think it would have looked a little bit better with some chrome wheels or some silver wheels. But it just looks really interesting. And I don't think this is like the best model that Pink Slip has to offer. I think if you can get, you know, this one, this is a lot more detailed. I would say this one's actually worth $40, but if I had to go back, I probably wouldn't have, you know, been too excited to spend $40 on this model if I had to pick it up again. But it does look really cool, you know, special Gulf livery, so I'll give it that. And then kind of a cool design, especially with the little whale tail in the back. But let me know if you guys agree with me in the comments below. Would you spend $40 on this model, or do you think it's kind of overpriced just a little bit? Because that's what I think. But anyways, if I had to give this thing a rating out of 10, I'd probably give it a 6 or 6.5, just because I think at that price point, I don't really know if this is worth it over other models of similar quality. Besides that, you saw the interior. They had some cool features in there, but, you know, I don't think it was the most mind-blowing thing I've ever seen. And the fact that you can't open up the trunk or the hood, you know, kind of sets this model back, you know, a little bit. I think it should maybe have some opening features, but Solito's known for doing that, not having opening features where they probably should. So that's kind of normal for them. But that's my review on this model. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you made it this far in the video, I think you gotta like, you gotta subscribe, and maybe hit that bell notification if you're really interested in model cars, because we got a lot more model cars to review. I have a ton of these things, so I'm happy to show them with you guys. But yeah, that's my review of this thing, and thanks for tuning in. Bye.